What's up everyone, it's Emily and welcome back to my channel. I think it's time I finally addressed Booktok as like a phenomenon or like book presence. I'm on Booktok, but I'm not participating in Booktok really. I have videos on my For You page of them, but I'm not someone who's like posting TikToks about books. But I follow a lot of authors and a lot of readers, and I love like seeing what everyone's reading, and it's a great place to get recommendations, but it's also like not a good place to get recommendations at the same time. And it's a little weird because a lot of the people on Booktok are either like 14, 15, or they're like my age, but I feel like I don't read a lot of the stuff that like other women my age are really reading. I get a lot of like smut recommendations, and I'm not a smut reader. Like I don't read for that. There's no shame or harm for the people that do. But for me, I read for other reasons. And I have been let down a few times by Booktok recommendations. Today, I'm gonna tell you 5 books/authors that I will not read that are super popular on Booktok. And you know, they could be popular for a multitude of reasons, and that's great. If you like these books or you like these authors, great, good for you. This is not hate or reflecting on you at all. This is just based on my personal taste, books that I like to read and authors that I want to support, or authors that I don't want to support. So the first kind of person I like will not read any of their books from is Colleen Hoover. The more I hear about Colleen Hoover's books, the less I want to read them, because while I think she has some really interesting premises, Verity, for example, I read the back of the book or whatever for Verity, and I was like, this sounds kind of interesting. And then I was like, but you know, I don't think I'm gonna read it. So then I read like the full breakdown of the book, and I was like absolutely disgusted. Apparently a lot of her books are kind of like that, where they're kind of like twisted and weird, like, but they're set as romances. I don't know, it's just really not for me. And I know a lot of people love her books, and she's got a lot out there, and she has a lot that are like really popular right now. And I think that's great. I'm happy for her as an author. I know that this is coming like later in her career, which is like really awesome for her. I'm glad that she's like found her people and her success, but it's just, I don't think her books will ever be one for me. I saw on a subreddit, someone was like, her books are if trauma was a genre. And I was like, that sounds about right from like what I've been hearing. I think that those kind of books have a place in literature and everything, and I definitely have read books like that. I don't really seek them out. So I don't think I can like willingly read a book with that kind of content, also like masked as a romance. Like that's just not for me. People love her, that's great. I just probably will never read one of her books. In a different but similar vein is anything by J Maas. Now, I have read the ACOTAR series, take that for what you want, but I have no interest in reading the Throne of Glass series, and I have no interest in reading Crescent City. The more I hear about her as an author and things that have come out about her as a person, the less I want to support her. I thought her books were fine. They were a little bit too spicy for me at moments, and then, you know, what wasn't in spice was lacking elsewhere in plot. And, you know, there's a lot of issues with her books, and if you don't know about them, I encourage you to look it up yourself and make that decision for yourself. The more I learn about her, the more I listen to the people who her books have kind of hurt and the things that she's done, the less I want to support her. So I will not be reading any more of her books that come out. Next is the Zodiac Academy. This book gets a lot of love from people. Like a lot of people love these books, but they're always like, you have to get to the 4th book till it gets good. Who's reading 3 books to get to the book that finally is like worthwhile reading? Like who's doing that? Not me. It's hard enough for me to get through a whole trilogy, let alone however many fucking books this series is. Too long, apparently. And it's so funny because people have been like defending this book series like tooth and nail, but like the people who don't like it are like, yeah, it's just shitty writing. Which just makes me laugh. I don't even think I could touch this series even if I wanted to. Like it is just too long, and apparently it's just like, maybe I could hate read it. Like maybe I could read it with the intention of knowing that it's gonna be not for me, or knowing that it's gonna be probably pretty bad. It could actually be really fun. So let me know if you want me to do that, I guess. Apparently it's like a bully romance. Like I don't even want to know what that means. Like, if you love this series, like more power to you. I will not touch this unless with very good reason. Next is the From Blood and Ash series, and this just, again, kind of like J Maas, it strictly has to do with the fact that this book has been totally spoken out against by BIPOC people as like racist and just not very good. Racist, but also just not good in general. Like it's just like lacking plot. What more do you need to know to like not really want to read it? Like I've actually like never heard of this book in a good way, other than I know that it's very popular on Booktok because it's in a lot of videos of people being like, oh, I just like finished reading this, and it like they give it a bunch of stars, but no one ever says like why it was good. But then when I hear people actually speaking about the book, it's always in a pretty negative way. So again, I just do not even want to touch this series. It doesn't even really sound interesting enough to me, but knowing that it's just really hurtful to marginalized communities makes me not even want to, I don't even want to try and read it. Last is The Ice Planet Barbarians. Now, it's probably pretty obvious that I'm someone who does not read books for smut, but this kind of takes it to another level because it is smut with non-human people, which again, if this is one of the things that you love to read, that is so great. I will wholeheartedly support you from the sidelines. But this series, I remember when this series blew up on TikTok and everyone just started reading it. And I just looked it up because I was like, why? And then I like was reading some synopses of it and whatever, and I was just like, yeah, no, I'm not touching that. If you don't know, it's a smut romance with ice barbarians, like they're giant blue people, alien people. I think it's totally fine if you like reading books like that and everything. I just don't think I could, like, I don't like smutty books in general, but smut with non-humans is just like another level of just not for me. This kind of goes like across the board for any kind of smutty romance with non-human figures. But yeah, this one was super duper popular on Booktok and everyone was talking about it for a couple months. You could not pay me to read this one. So there you have it. Those are 5 authors/books that are super popular on TikTok that I will not be reading. As always, take this as you will. If you have any TikTok books that did live up to the hype, let me know down below. If you had any that just were totally trash, even though people were hyping it up, let me know down below as well. I think it's really interesting what TikTok has been doing to the publishing industry. At the same time, we're blowing up indie authors who are like finally getting their shot at like being well known and getting their books published traditionally, but also at the same time, it's bringing back authors who did not have success right away that are now hitting bestseller lists. But then at the same time, we have traditional publishing industries that are not marketing books the way that they used to because they're expecting authors and TikTok to do the work for them. So we're seeing this kind of shift in the publishing industry, and I think it's really interesting that, you know, the readers are having a say, but at the same time, some of these people I feel like cannot be trusted with book recommendations. Or at least maybe in their niche of people it's great, but then, you know, for the vast majority or, you know, anyone else who isn't in that little niche, it's like, what is this? As always, thank you so much for watching. It is always great to have you here. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one.